sim racers need to do this. There's no excuse. Doesn't matter what the simulator, doesn't matter what the simulated race car. If you intend to race online with other people, or even if you're driving against AI, to be honest, you need to do this one thing. Let's get going. Welcome back to the Game Muscle YouTube channel. Click the like button, hit that subscribe button, and click that bell if you want to be notified of future videos. So what is this one thing? Well, it's really simple. It's really simple. What sim racers need to do when they get in a simulated car is they need to learn how to actually control that vehicle. Now, I know some of you are facepalming and you're like, well, yeah, obviously, Game of Muscle, you need to know how to control the vehicle. What I'm specifically talking about is not the memorizing of the actual race circuit in every specific corner. What I'm talking about is you need to know how to actually catch the car that you're driving and be in control of that car when something unexpected happens. What I've found with lots of online racing over the years, going back to when things were black and white, is that a lot of people do hot lapping, a lot of people learn how to take various corners, you know, what the apex is, how fast to go through, what gear they should be in, the line through the track. They learn that, and they robotically can drive circuits relatively quickly. But the moment the car gets loose and the back pops out, well, that's it. They've gone. They've lost control of the vehicle because they don't actually know how to handle the car. So in order to get past that, what you need to do is, I mean, maybe do this with the traction control setting that you'd use in a race, so the car is actually handling as it would be whilst you're driving. But for purposes of this, I'm just going to turn traction control off. We're driving the GT3 BMW. It's sort of like the all-round car in AC, but you should do this with every single car that you intend to race. What you need to do is you really need to get a feel for the vehicle and what kind of slip angles can you get away with, and what kind of slip angles can you pull back from. Not only from turning the car left and right, which is this kind of situation in a race, you know, someone might pull out in front of you, you suddenly have to move. You need to know how much can you move before, how much can you turn, and then be able to catch it before the car goes completely crazy, so that then you know if something's happening in front, how much space you need to give to be able to actually avoid it without throwing yourself off the track or ruining the race. So having a good idea of how to catch the car from a turning input, and so the weight of the car throwing the back out. You need to learn how to catch the car from throttle input. So if you accidentally at the start of the race, maybe you got cold tyres, you put too much throttle on, or you maybe you just light up the rears coming out of a tight corner. You need to learn how to counter steer to catch that, both on the straight at the start of the race, but also if you're going into a tight corner like that and you want to not just rotate around, you need to know, at what point can you bring it back without losing complete control of the vehicle? I mean, obviously, if you're sliding around, you're not going to have perfect control of the vehicle, but you need to be able to relatively stably control it and be in general command of the car. And then, of course, you also need to know how to actually handle the vehicle if you're locking up the brakes. This car has ABS on it. Let's, I don't know if I can turn that off. Yep, there we go. We can turn that off as well. So you need to practice locking up the car and having a feel for what the vehicle does when it locks up. Obviously, if you completely lock up the car at speed and you just keep your foot on the brake, the car will generally just go in a straight line and you won't have any actual control of the vehicle. But if you... now we've flat spotted the tyres. No, thank you, AC Force Feedback, for letting me know. I can feel it bobbling along now. But you've got the... If you're locking up a little bit of coming off it, how much does the back pop out, and how, again, to actually maintain control of the car when the back is popping out. Let's do it going around the corner here. Right, the brake bias is forwards. this is another opportunity, flinging it around like this when not in a server, when not online. You can also actually then find out, you know, what brake bias is a brake bias at the point where the back, when you lock up, starts to come out as opposed to the front just causing understeer. Basically, these are all just things to do with innate car control outside of, there you go, so the back's coming out there on the brake. You need to have innate car control of the vehicle before doing races online. And the whole point of this, drift entry, the whole point is you are then in control of the vehicle and you're much less likely to end up ruining the race for other people. And to make it clear, it obviously doesn't just it applies to all vehicles and all simulators. I'm just using AC here because it's one of the easiest sims to get into. But let's do it with a Formula car. Let's go for the F2004. There we go. Load that in. It just boggles my mind the amount of times we do racing online, and at the start of the race, everyone bins it because the tyres are cold and they haven't learnt how to innately handle and deal with the car handling. So it's like, oh, it's a surprise to them, and they just spin and they don't even seem to react to it. I've watched people using my sim rig, and I've watched other people sim race. It's like what they've done is they've memorised how to drive a line around a track, but they've not actually learnt how to handle a car. And it's like, no, you need to learn how to handle the car first and then learn racing line and apexes. Admittedly, I'm back to front. The car handling aspect is, for me, the most important thing, the first thing I do with any car, and learning apexes and brake points is what I fail at miserably, so I'm guilty in the opposite direction. But here we go, even with this F2004, which obviously you would normally drive this with traction control, but I've turned it all off. I'm getting a feel here. How much can you throw it around? How much can you really take the piss so that if you're in a race and you have to react to something, you know, how much throttle can you put on before the back comes out? How much can you get away with and actually pull it back? How much controllable slip angle does it has? These things are of vital importance. You'll also want to do things like go over the curves more than you'd really want to in an actual race situation. Test out having it so the underbody of the car hits the sausages. How does the car react to the sausages? Does it turn into a full English breakfast, or does the car actually handle it all right? Again, different simulators will do that differently. AC, with some cars, the curbing is like super slippy. ACC, you can absolutely spam dangle the curbing and everything's perfectly fine. There's no problems. iRacing, you really have to just stay under the limit all the time. Which actually, to be honest, I think with iRacing, it's probably one of those sims where it's the worst for this aspect of people not knowing how to actually handle the car in different situations, because if you do overdrive in iRacing, or you go over the limit, you're basically dead. So maybe a lot of people are just applying iRacing philosophy where you always have to stay under the limit, and so they don't bother actually learning how to drive and handle cars as you would normally. But you know, that's it really for this video. It's a pure rant that it's one thing's really been annoying me when we've been racing, that people just don't have that innate car control. You need to effectively put your drift hat on with every new car, and I'd also recommend doing it on certain tracks. Try going into some corners more aggressively, as if you were going to be overtaking a car on that corner, or as if you've just gone into the corner a bit too hot. Try some different angles going into corners that maybe not the fastest lines into a corner, but allow you to then have an expectation of what will happen and how to handle the car through those corners if you're in a race situation where you have to do something different to the hot lap force feedback comes into this a lot in terms of telling you what to do and how to react to it. But I've been told my videos are too long, so we'll do a glorious Holy Church of Gamer Muscle force feedback video as a separate video, talking about force feedback, what to listen to, what the force feedback's telling you, and how all that works. But yep, that's it. That's it, guys. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Please, please, for the love of God, everybody, mess around with the cars offline, throw them around, learn how to handle them, learn how to recover them, learn to be in control of the vehicle even when wildly crazy stuff is happening with them, and you'll make sim racing better for yourself, you'll understand the car better, and most important of all, you will stop driving into other people online and ruining their races. Unless that was what you actually intended, which is what I'm starting to think now. I think everyone just wants to kill each other, crash into each other. I think that's why people are sim racing. Every sim is wreckfest. But yep, hopefully that was useful for you. Let me know what you think in the chat. If this is something you've done or something you haven't done and something that you will do from now on. I'd be interested to know if people actually are thinking, oh yeah, that's a good idea or not. But if you did enjoy this, click the like button, subscribe as I say. And until the next one, happy tea drinking, everybody. Goodbye.